Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, we're doing something a little different tonight. I know I've been off for a little bit, but I'm back and I'm doing two things. I am streaming on TikTok and some other platforms. So uh, feel free to message me, say hi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's Dr. Qaali. I have not been here for some time, but I have some updates about our Burnout to Balance workshop. I have gotten a lot of requests for when is the next workshop? When can we sign up for it? Um, and I wanted to give you guys an update as to how the last 6 months was and how we are going to um, move forward. So I think we're on Instagram as well. So if you guys are on, just send me a message. If you can see me, if you can hear me, that would be great. So, first of all, how are you guys doing? Tell me where you guys are tuning in from and how are things going? And do me a favor, if you could share this live so we can invite more people, it would be fantastic. I'm going to add it to my story. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are on, I think, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram and TikTok. We're talking about burnout and burnout recovery. And I want to tell you guys how the Burnout to Balance workshop has been going for the past 6 months, things that we've observed, and the reason we're putting the workshop on hold for a little bit of time, and what we're going to do differently. Okay. Um, it's pretty interesting. It's been a wild ride. Wisconsin, I see. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Invite your friends, invite more people. Let's get into it. Okay. All right. San Diego. Excellent. All right. So we're gonna get started. All right. So we've been hosting the Burnout to Balance workshop for the past 6 months. Okay. And for 6 months, it's been people who are signing up. We have an assessment that they go through, and the assessment is how we measure how severe your burnout is. Okay. And so the majority of people who come through are at severe burnout. So we have people who are coping, people who are managing, people who are moderate and they need a little bit of work, and people who are severe. And so majority of the people that sign up and come to the workshops are at severe burnout. Okay. Now, there's something interesting that has happened over the past 6 months that has made me kind of pause and shift things a little bit. Okay. What's happened is people, hi, people have signed up for the Burnout to Balance workshop. They're clearly in need of help recovering from burnout. Um, and two things happen. Number one, they don't show up. Okay. Yes. Do you have online workshops for people overseas? I got something better for you guys. Okay. I've got something much better for you guys if you just give me a minute and explain what we've seen. So people who have paid money to go to a workshop for burnout don't show up. Okay. Half the people don't show up. Okay. Said life is busy. You don't show up. It's fine. We have a replay. It's available to you. It's online. Sit down and watch it when you have time. What we see is people starting and not finishing. A few people making it to halfway, and others not even proceeding past the first 10 minutes. Okay, so we have people who are severely burned out, but they are either too busy or too burned out to have an hour or two to dedicate to their own recovery. Okay. So to me, it's like, okay, I can keep doing these workshops and I can get people to sign up and, just send it to them and it just sits in their inbox and they don't do anything with it, or we need to do things differently. Okay. And so that's the plan is we're going to do things differently. Okay. And so what we're going to do is the biggest problem is that people are so overwhelmed, they can't even focus on learning something to help them recover. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I have put the Burnout to Balance workshop on hold until next year, inshallah. Okay, we're going to start it next year, inshallah. Okay, but we are going to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is recovery. Okay, if you are not recovered and if you are constantly exhausted and constantly overwhelmed and constantly, running ragged, you can't focus on learning and getting better and improving your habits. Okay, so we're going to focus on recovery. Does that make sense? Okay, I want you guys to respond if you guys understand where I'm coming from. The Burnout to Balance workshop is on hold currently. Okay, so it is on hold currently until the beginning of next year, inshallah. What we're going to do differently is we are going to focus on recovery. And what we're going to do with recovery is two things. Okay, two very simple things. It's a lot of work on our end, but for the people who are experiencing burnout, it is simple and straightforward. Number one, we're going to create a lot of content. So I created a completely separate YouTube channel that is just burnout recovery education. Okay, that's it. The link is on my profile. Follow it. We just posted our first video today. And it is just burnout recovery. That's it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to learn how to recover from burnout so that by the time the workshop comes around, you're ready. Okay? Does that make sense? So it is simple. There's a 5-step process that I'm going to teach you guys. 5-step process that I'm going to teach you guys to just recover from burnout, get a peace of mind so that you can actually work towards balance. Okay, somebody's asking, how can you raise 5 kids and work? Okay, actually, I have 6 kids. And yes, you can work, have kids, raise them, be present for them, and you can have balance. Okay, so once you recover, absolutely, once you recover, you can work towards balance and learn all the different tools. Okay, so the first step, there's 2 steps. The first step is for us to create education and resources on just learning these 5 simple steps. Okay, they're 5 simple steps, but you have to do it one at a time. Okay, so that's going to be the free education that we're going to create on this YouTube channel. If you want help implementing these steps, okay, if you want help implementing these steps, I've created a community and the entrance is like $9. Okay, and in that community, I will walk you through and teach you every single step. Okay, every single step. I'm actually recording the videos. So if you want to join me and you want to be there when I record it, because I hate talking to myself on camera when I'm recording these lessons. If you want to join me on a Zoom as I teach these, you're more than welcome to. Okay, it's a school community. It's $9 a month. Okay, depending on how fancy your coffee is, it's less than a cup of coffee. Okay, and so the YouTube channel is going to be just for education. Okay, it's going to be talking about what the 5 steps are and why they're important. Right, the importance of having it all versus doing it all, the importance of boundaries, why it's important. Okay. But the most important thing in burnout recovery is taking these simple things that you learn and applying it. Okay. Applying it and making it part of your daily routine. And so I'm going to be I'm going to be teaching you guys about how we're going to share this. Okay. How we're going to do this. 5 steps. I broke it down into 1 step at a time. Right. 1 step per month. I locked everything. You're not allowed to move on until you learn this step. Does that make sense? Okay. I want to set expectations from the get go. Okay. Before you enter the community, before you enter these classrooms, before you enter any of the things that we're doing, I want to set expectations one step at a time. One step. We're going to work on the first step is relief. How do we unclutter your plate? How do we figure out why we're so burned out? What is causing us to be burned out? What is on our plate? How do we take things off of it? And how do we find relief? That is step one. We're going to work on that for an entire month. Does that make sense? Okay. Send me a message. Yes, no, if that makes sense. Okay. Is it our phone notifications? LOL. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. So the burnout is so real that people will pay for resources and won't take advantage of it because they're too tired, they're too exhausted, they're too busy, right? So I don't feel good about charging people for a workshop they won't use. Okay? I would much rather stop the whole thing, right? I would much rather stop the whole thing and not run any more workshops if you're not going to show up and take advantage of it. Okay? To me, it doesn't feel right. Okay? So, we're going to create something very simple. Okay? The community is open. And if you want to get in while I'm teaching live. Okay? The membership will have all the lectures and all the lessons and all the things I will have you do. I will have you do the exercises with me. Okay? So the YouTube and all the information is free. The implementation, how to implement it and having me walk you through it, you can get in at the start of like $9 a month. Like I said, if you drink fancy coffee, it's cheaper than that. Okay? $9 a month. That's it. So we've made the barrier of entry very, very low. Okay? It is very, very low. If you want, in addition to that, if you want monthly coaching, there's a premium tier for that. So the people who really want the monthly coaching, we have a different tier. But anybody can get in at $9 a month, one step per month. Okay. If it takes you 2 months to implement that one step, take 2 months. The resources are there, the community is there, right? It's going to be a community of a whole lot of women who understand you, right? And the funny thing is, I want to be, yes, there will be a lot of other women who are going through these things. Somebody said, um, I have a lot to say. You can say a lot in this community. You can post things. Okay. So we have somebody here that says, this is outside of the topic, but by any chance, would you be interested in doing a seminar for you? You'll have to send me a message. Yes, you'll have to send me a message. But yeah, so the information is going to be there, the YouTube channel. So um, sign up or subscribe, whatever it is, subscribe to the YouTube channel because all the videos that we're going to be making on what these 5 steps are and why we have to do burnout differently, right? It's alarming to see people signing up and asking. Like, I get so many emails. When is the next workshop? When's the next workshop? I'm not going to hold a workshop nobody's going to show up to because they're too exhausted, they're too tired. I have women who have paid for the workshop and I monitor and see where they're at. They haven't watched their replay. They haven't tuned in, right? I'm sorry, I'm um on two different things. So if I'm not looking directly at you, that's why. But there are people that are signing up and paying money for a workshop that they can't use because they're too overwhelmed. Okay? And I don't feel good about taking that money. So we're going to put a pause so that next time I hold this workshop, I want you to be recovered and I want you to be ready to join. Okay? So how can you implement with no help and resources? So there will be help and resources in the community. There will be plenty. So every step has like step-by-step guidance on how to implement. Okay? Every step, every single step has, we assess where you are, right? You learn 3 lessons, and then at the end you get to reflect, and you do that for an entire month. I don't open up any other step, right? I love the platform that we've used, that we're using. I looked at a whole bunch of potential resources where we could host this, and school is like one of those new community things. It allows you to structure the course exactly the way you want, and this is how I want to structure it, one step at a time. You can go back and review things, but you cannot move forward, okay, until you have at least spent 30 days with one step. Okay. So $9 a month is like the cheapest thing that we have, but it is the most impactful, right? I want you to recover. I want you to be in a space where when you come to the workshop, you're not overwhelmed. You can learn, you can internalize these new ideas and these new ways of approaching life and thinking about work life balance, right? What's important, what's not important. Okay. Okay, so this is okay. I think people are joining halfway, so let me review a little bit. What we're talking about is we've created a burnout recovery community. And the reason we're doing this is because we had so many people sign up for the Burnout to Balance workshop to only not show up for it. They don't show up, and when I send them the replays, they don't play the replays. Why? Because they're too exhausted, they're too tired. They started and then they never get past 10 minutes. And so people are too tired and need to recover from burnout before they can learn new strategies and new ways to live their lives better. Okay. Um, so in order for us to overcome this, because I personally don't feel good about hosting workshops and taking people's money and nobody shows up and takes advantage of it. To me, that's not how I want to do business. That's not how I want to teach. That's not how I want to help people. Okay. So we're going to take a step back. We have put the Burnout to Balance workshop on hold. It is going to happen. The next one is going to be, I haven't decided yet, January or February. I haven't decided yet. It's going to be in 2026. We're not doing any more this year. We're done. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is burnout recovery. Does that make sense for the new people that have joined? I think there's like, is that 50? Okay. Yeah. I think more people have joined. Okay. Yes, no, maybe so. Put a comment and tell me if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay? So the workshop is on hold and we're going to focus on one thing, and that is burnout recovery. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. So the workshop is on hold. I I'm not doing the workshop until January or February. Okay. And from now on, it's going to be, you'll have to come through and do these 5 steps before you get to the workshop, because it's extremely important. The workshop is much easier when you know this information, when you've recovered, than having a whole bunch of information dumped at you. Okay. So the workshop is very interactive. The people who go through it see a difference, right? I have them do certain things and take things off their plate and do exercises and measure their level of burnout. The workshop is very interactive, and the people who come through it, the people who show up, the people who make time do fantastic, right? But there are more people that don't show up. There are more people that don't even look at the replay. They have paid money, right? It was anywhere from 297 to 397. They have paid money and they don't look it up. Okay? I do have one-on-one sessions, but you'll have to email me on that. They're like very few and far in between. Okay? But in this community, like we've made the barrier of entry really, really, really low. Okay? Really, really low. It's $9. per month. That's it. Okay. One step at a time. And in the next week, we're going to be recording every single lesson. Okay. So there is an option for the people who join early to be there live for those recordings. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Neja says no. Okay. Can you clarify um what it is that you don't understand so I can make it a little bit more clear? Is it Najiha? Yeah. Najiha. Yeah. Send me a message right here. Yeah. Just type in the chat what isn't clear and so we can clarify it. Okay. You got any advice for college student? What kind? That is very broad. Like, look both ways when you're crossing the street. Like, I'm sorry. Uh, it's very, very broad. Like, what kind of advice, right? Okay. So, any questions about burnout recovery? So, we'll bring back the workshop when we're ready. Right now, we're going to focus on recovery. Okay. Recovery, one step at a time, one very small but powerful step at a time. I just joined. I haven't heard anything yet. That's why I said that. So, oh, okay. All right. So I think we've got a little about 10 minutes. Okay. Yes, time management is going to be very, very important. But we do time management a little bit differently. So give me a second. So Najiha, what we're talking about is, so we've been running a workshop called Burnout to Balance Workshop for the past 6 months. And in those 6 months, one thing that we have seen is that more people sign up than actually show up, right? And that essentially means people are too tired, too exhausted, too burned out to seek the help they need to get over burnout, to overcome burnout, right? So it doesn't make any sense. And what, even if they can't make it live, there's replays available that is sent to them, right? They don't watch the replays. They need help. They're exhausted, they're burned out, but they are not able to use the resources that we provide, the workshop that we provide. So in order to deal with this and to have better to help people actually prepare better for, you know taking advantage of the workshop, because the workshop is really, really powerful, is really impactful. We have people like within the workshop, like, take things off their plate. There's a huge exercise that we do, and it makes an impact. But if you don't show up, excuse me, if you don't show up, and if you don't take advantage of the resources that we provide, we're not helping anybody, right? We're not helping anybody. We're just taking people's money and saying thank you. We're not doing any good, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put the workshop on hold. Okay, we're going to put the workshop on hold for until next year. Okay, until next year, we're going to put the workshop on hold. In the meantime, we've created a YouTube channel that is only focused on burnout recovery. That's all we're going to talk about is burnout recovery. There's a 5-step simple process that I'm going to teach you guys. Right? I'm going to teach it for free on YouTube. If you want help implementing it, like how to implement it step by step, I walk you through all of that inside the membership. And the membership entrance is like $9. And in a community of other people, other women who are also burned out and are dealing with it, right? And when you learn something, you implement it, you come back, right? You share how it's impacted you, you interact with the group, right? And then you see how it does. and then you move on to the next step. Okay. All right. Does that make sense, Najiha? Okay. Um, One thing I want to make clear is I don't answer many medical questions on here. So panic attacks and insomnia, um, uh, I'd have you see your primary care physician. There's a lot of things that can cause that. There's a lot of underlying medical problems that could be a reason for that. Okay. What was the other question? Not answering our question. Yeah, I'm in the middle of explaining certain things. So, what is your question? Time management. Yes. So, there are a lot of things about time management, doing a lot of things. The way I teach time management is a little bit different. I think so. There are a handful of things that you have to do in order to achieve 80% of your roles of the results that you're looking for, right? It's a principle called the Pareto principle. Um, so you have to figure out what are the important things that I have to do, right? Do those things, and all the other things, all the time wasters, all the things like scrolling social media, right? I know sometimes it could be good, but there are things that are time sucks. Okay. So you have to figure out what is it that is taking up a lot of my time, and how do I not do that? Does that make sense? Yeah. It's a lot more involved than a quick answer, but time management is an extremely important skill. Okay. All right. So let me know if you guys have any more questions. Um, we will have more information on this in the next few weeks. Uh, if you want to hear more about what's going on with the burnout recovery community and how it's growing, and if you want to join, follow subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where everything is going to be posted. If you want to learn about the 5 steps, that's where you learn it. It's going to be on the YouTube channel. If you want to implement it, if you want help implementing step by step, we designed it in a way that there is going to be no overwhelm. Okay? No overwhelm. You're going to take one step at a time. Everything is locked. You cannot move on until you complete that first step. You understand? Mhm. Okay. So we have a lot more audience that is non-Somali speaking. So that's the reason why my channel and everything else is in English. Um, so okay. Esma says, "How do you manage your duty schedule?" Uh, so that is actually a very important question. How do you manage your schedule? Okay. Part of burnout recovery is setting boundaries and negotiating your schedule. Okay. That that is part of our training. You have to navigate differently. You have more responsibilities. If you're a mom, if you have children, if you have other responsibilities, aging parents that you're taking care of, it is extremely important for you to be able to effectively negotiate your schedule. I have a completely different schedule than my colleagues. Why? Because I negotiated my schedule the way it is. So these are extremely important skills that you should have, but we're not taught anywhere. Okay? So that is part of the recovery that we teach. Okay? All right. Najiha is asking, okay, here. I'm going to send you the link for the community. Okay, let me know if you get it, Najiha. It should be, there you go. Okay, yeah, that's the link to join the school. That's the link to join the community. All right, we have all the introduction stuff. You have all the things that you should have to get you to help you orient. Okay, so we're streaming on like multiple things. We're trying something new. Like I'm constantly being told to go outside of my comfort zone, and I'm like, I just like TikTok, and they're like, no. So my team actually has me set up on live streaming on other platforms. I think we have people on Insta, Facebook, I think YouTube. Yeah. Okay. First time on your live. Welcome. It's I do them very few and far in between, but when I have something important to tell you guys, I come and do it. So yeah, so what was I talking about? Schedule. Yes. Schedule. It's extremely important for you to know how to negotiate that. All right. So if you stay with me as part of this community, we can work up to that and learning all of that. How to know? Okay. How to overcome compassion fatigue? As I'm a doctor, also. Yes. Oh my God. You guys, like these are conversations that we're gonna have in our community. Okay. Compassion. So there's this wonderful exercise that I absolutely love, and we do it as part of. We have the burnout to balance workshop is 2 days. Okay. Day one, we lay everything on the table, everything that's causing you to burn out. Even it doesn't have to be physical things that you're doing. It doesn't have to be things on your schedule. The mental load of you doing all these things and caring for all these things and worrying about those things. Those are extremely, you know, stressful situations that you're carrying 24/7, and that's how your burnout shows up. The constant stress that you have, you're always tense, your shoulders always hurt, your back always hurts, your neck hurts, you have migraines, right? Asthma, compassion fatigue, that's exactly what it is, right? And so what we do is we put all that stuff out, and put it on our plate, and then we figure out how to deal with each one. Okay, so that is actually part of our relief. That's step one, right? So the problem with burnout recovery is that the way a lot of other people do it is they treat the symptoms, right? They treat the symptoms. That's it. Okay, you're feeling this way, relax. Let's do some yoga. Like you go to a retreat and they're like, let's do some yoga or take a vacation. And then you come back to the same exact situation. You come back to the same scenario. Okay. So the name of the YouTube channel is Burnout Recovery with Dr. Qaali. And the link is on my profile on TikTok. Okay. So they treat the symptoms, they never get to the root cause, and that's it. So as soon as you're finished doing your temporary thing, you took a vacation, you went and got a massage, guess what you do? You go back to the same exact thing you were doing. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to slow down. Okay? We're going to slow down, and we're going to talk about the specific things that are causing your burnout and your overwhelm, and we're going to take it off of your plate one step at a time. And once you have recovered, once you are no longer in constant burnout and overwhelm, then we learn the techniques, the skills, the strategies to help you set firm boundaries and get better and better and better with time. Okay? So we're going to do this for as long as it takes. And when you're ready, the people that are in the community will move on to the workshop. Does that make sense? That's what we're going to do. One step at a time, one simple step at a time. I will literally walk you through every single step. I will lock everything up, right? You're not going to get to step 5, right? There are people, and I'm one of them myself, where if I get access, like I do a lot of reading and studying for my, boards and this and that, and when I get access to something new that I'm learning, I'm like, oh, let me go. Let's see what all the things are, right? You go from the top to the bottom, just seeing, and then you're overwhelmed. No, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm so excited to have found a platform that gives me that control to say, you're not doing step 5, you're not doing step 4, you're not doing 3 or 2, you're doing step 1 for a month. Once we drilled that down, learned it, applied it, implemented it, learned from it, learned what went right, what went wrong, what we're going to do better. Now you're ready for step 2. Okay? in a community with other women who are also dealing with burnout, right? And this is one of the things that we see in our group coaching. We have a lot of women in there. A lot of times, I provide the coaching and the teaching and the structure, but we learn a lot more from people's stories, right? Because it gives us a different perspective. It gives us a different scenario that we normally wouldn't see in our fields, right? We have IT people in IT and lawyers and doctors and dentists and nurses. These are extremely different fields coming together to say, oh, our field doesn't do it this way, but in yours, this is how you deal with something like this. And you learn from each other. Okay. So that is the community that we're building. I invite you to come join me. It is going to be fabulous. I'm really, really excited. Okay. And so it's a sisterhood. We're going to overcome and recover from burnout together, one step at a time. And then when we have the workshop, oh, it's going to be fabulous, inshallah. Okay. I've got 5 minutes. When? Okay. When is so the Burnout to Balance workshop is going to be next year. The first step before you get to the workshop is going to be to learn the 5 steps to recover. I want you to recover from burnout so that by the time you get to that workshop, it is impactful. You actually, you're calm, you're recovered, you're not stressed, right? The last workshop that I held was in person. Actually, no, there was the one before that. The last one we held was online. The one before that was in person. And it was this amazing woman, mashallah, who drove from another town to come and join us. She made it halfway through. And I could see like she really wanted to be there. But because life got in the way, life got in the way. Okay. So this is online, accessible to you at all times. You get small little lessons, you implement it, you see how it impacts your life and what you're going to like, how things change. You get better, you come, share with the group, you learn, and then we learn the next step together. Okay. So in the next week or so, I'm going to be recording a lot of these things live. Okay. If you want to be part of it, you can join and I will invite you to my Zoom as I record it and I teach it. Right. And we'll build the whole thing together. Okay. I have like half of it done. Right? Like a lot of my courses and a lot of my workshops, I just announce it and people come in and they watch me teach it live. And so that is what we're doing here. And that's how you get the most out of it. Okay. All right. I'll take a couple questions and then I'll let you guys go. Right. So, two things that you guys are going to do here. Okay. So, the two things are going to be sign up for or subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where I'll be teaching what the 5 steps are. Okay. The 5 steps to recover from burnout. Very simple. Okay. Very logical. And one builds on the other. Okay. So you'll get what it is and why it's important there. How to implement it. How to implement it is going to be part of the community. Okay. That's a school community that you have to join. And the barrier to entry is like nothing. Okay, $9 a month. If you want to show up for live monthly coaching, that is going to be that's a premium. Okay, so you can add that on. You can upgrade that later if you want. Right, but the important thing is the lessons, the community, the connecting with people, the asking questions, the getting the feedback, the resources. You will get all of that with just $9. Right? I want you guys, the YouTube channel. YouTube channel is going to be on my, what is it called? Profile? Yeah, profile. That's the link that I changed everything. That's the link that's going to be right there. Burnout recovery. That's all I'm going to focus on for the next like 6 months. So people are going to have to come in through recovery before they can get to the workshop. Right? I don't feel good about charging for a workshop that people will pay for and not use. Okay, in my eyes, the money may be halal, but I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about you paying money and not using the resource. I would rather just not give it to you. Okay? So we're going to put it on hold. Recovery first. Then when you've recovered, I will give you access to sign up for the workshop through what is it called? Through the community. Okay? So yeah, it just does not make any sense. Like, well, I look at my thing, and there's one where it was one of the first ones. I had 10 people sign up. I didn't have much time. I wanted to record my first one live. Instead of like making a video that's like very impersonal. I like recording all of my content live. And so I said, okay, we have 10 people show up. We have 10 people sign up. I had 2 people show up. I sent the replays. I had one person watch it. One person. So out of 10 people, 3 people took advantage of it. And then month after month after month, it was like the same. Like the numbers went up, more people signed up, but less people show up, and more people don't watch the replay, don't respond to emails, don't respond to, what did you think? How did it go? What do you need help with? None of that. Okay. So I watch your YouTube about what's next. So my YouTube. So I'm leaving a YouTube channel. I'm not leaving it. I'm just not doing anything with it right now. A YouTube channel that has followers and history and all of that. And I'm starting a brand new one to reach a specific audience. And that is the audience that is burned out. Okay. So it's going to take a little bit of work. And if you guys can help and share and amplify the channel, that would be fantastic. Right. But I want to focus solely on that. Right. Burnout recovery. That's it. That's all we're going to do. Okay. Okay. Uh, good luck, avocado hoyo. That's amazing. I love that name. Good luck with your exams. And is it Qaali? Uh, I'm sorry. I don't know who I invited and why. Okay. Um, anyway, as far as second opinion for seizures, I would look for a neurologist. Okay, that's who you're gonna get. And I usually don't respond to or don't address medical issues on any of my platforms, since I'm not your doctor and I technically should not be giving you any advice. But that's what I would say. And then the second thing was I wanted to, oh, the YouTube channel that you guys are following. So if you're following my old one, there is a new one that is specific for burnout recovery. It's specific. I know. I like doing things the hard way. I don't know why. My team is like, we did all this work. We grew this other channel. I'm like, it's okay. No, we need to focus. Okay. We're going to focus on burnout recovery. Right. So new channel, new community, barrier to entry is nothing. Okay. $9 to pay for the platform. Okay. And we are time. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to send it my way. Um, the group is open. You will get to come and watch me record things live if you're part of it. Okay. All right. I will see you guys next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. And I will see you guys later, inshallah.